to another episode of Coffee with a Kick, wrapping up our Olympic group stages today with actually looking at our picks. Pretty good job as far as picking who's moving through. Some of the placing of it maybe not quite as good, but it's easy to kind of pick this. But we got basically everyone right who is moving through.
Wow.
Basically, we may have missed Group D a little bit because we did miss Group D for second place, but everything else we kind of got right. But let's go ahead and move right into it with the first matchup there. The Dominican Republic and Uzbekistan. 1-1 draw ends up being. I know what I had picked. I had picked the Dominican Republic winning. What did you pick? I didn't actually get a chance to catch our episode that you're solo-sewed.
Yeah.
What did you say for that one?
I think I also picked Dominican Republic to win.
Yeah, they had been playing very well, but unfortunately, they did indeed draw that 1-1 with Spain and Egypt being the other match from that group, and Egypt actually comes out on top of that one, which I did not have, which put them into first place in the group. Which is, we both had Spain and Egypt moving through, just in inverted order. We both had Spain going first and Egypt going second. But with this result here, Egypt ends up going through first, which is a pretty good result for them, obviously. And Spain has not been terribly impressive so far in this tournament. So we'll see how that moves going forward. But any big notes from those two matches we had?
I mean, Dominican Republic, Uzbekistan, I was a little disappointed with the Dominican Republic. I felt like they played up to stuff with the other two teams, and then Uzbekistan comes to town, and they're just like, let's play to our actual ranking.
Yeah, pretty flat.
With Spain, I mean, they were lucky to get one goal. Yeah. I mean, Egypt really dominated the game, and Spain, I mean, they're going to get their possession, but really Egypt, I mean, they got to them. They handled the match, so good on Egypt. I think if they play like they did versus Spain, Egypt has a good chance.
Egypt is definitely looking threatening going forward into the knockout stage there. But we'll move on from Group C, which they started us off with, to Group B, with which the first match of which was Ukraine. Well, I think they were all simultaneous matches, but Ukraine and Argentina was the first one. I got that one right because I did say that Argentina would win. And then not France and New Zealand. Morocco and Iraq was the other, with Morocco coming through with a 3-0 victory over Iraq. So a very good result from them, making it through ahead of Argentina due to that head-to-head result where they beat them in the first match of the group stage. Again, Argentina has fixed themselves from their first match. It definitely was better than Ukraine the whole match long. The Almada goal was nice. They got a little bonus one there in the 90+1. But Argentina continues to be impressive. 3-0 victory over Iraq, which I think I also had. No, I had a draw for those two.
Yeah, I had both Morocco and Argentina winning. I felt like they're just two strong sides. We both felt that they were going to be pretty strong and they're going to be the teams moving on. So, I mean, to shut out Ukraine and Iraq, I mean, both Ukraine and Iraq, they're good enough to win. Like, they're good enough to put up a fight. But I feel like the two big dogs in this group decided we're going to actually act like it.
Yeah, and they definitely did. Which we'll see how that works out for the U.S. because we are playing Morocco. We'll get to that in a second. But next up is the America and France group, which I got to say, best match so far for the U.S. I think it helps that we're playing Guinea, who had lost all three matches of theirs. Not a very good side. And France took care of New Zealand. Both these matches ended up 3-0. And both of them were pretty much felt the same way, like almost. I mean, the France goals. There was the second goal that we had was quicker than France's, but France was still managing their match very easily. But Paredes, who we did shout out in the preview episode, did come through and had himself a brace in this one.
Yeah, the France game, I mean, different games here. U.S. looked like they were dominating the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Guinea, obviously, not the greatest squad. But the New Zealand-France one was interesting because at halftime, New Zealand had some momentum. They're only down 1-0. They're feeling like if they can end up getting a win here, that there's potential for them to maybe move on as well. But they ended up falling. France finally, about halfway through, ended up getting 2 goals in quick succession. But, I mean, I feel like both USA and France have actually grown into the tournament well. I think match 1, I think, would look different if USA and France play again. I don't think US loses 3-0.
I agree with that. The US has really worked their way into this tournament. We started off with our toughest match, and even the first half of that match was not bad. Like, we did play decent in the first half. It was really the second half that things got away from us really quickly. But yeah, I agree that I think we still probably lose that, but I think we at least get a goal in it. We convert one of those chances that we did have in the first half against France. So we'll see how we change gears going into the knockouts. But before we go into that, we'll go ahead and go to Group D, which Japan finished out their group stage immaculance. I don't know if that's a word. Immaculescence. They did not concede a goal. Did not concede a single goal in their 3 matches so far, which speaks well for them. And Paraguay beats Mali to move through as well, who, talking about turning your tournament around. They get annihilated in the first match and then come back and win the next 2. Now, the Japan and Israel match was very interesting for the majority of it. I mean, Israel was in this and had their chances. Arguably, they should have been up probably 2-0 by the time that Japan got their 90+1 minute goal. But they had a lot of good opportunities that they just were not able to convert. And then Paraguay scored early in their match and then were very comfortable just kind of coasting it out from there and getting the 3 points and the ticket through to the next round. Yeah,
very different games. Paraguay match, early 5th-minute goal, and it's just really, hey, let's just maintain this.
Mm-hmm.
Japan-Israel, it felt like Japan was kind of holding on to a draw there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And then 90+1, they come in and score. But Japan, I mean, like we both said, they're going to be disciplined, they're going to be rigorous, they're going to be a team, and they have impressed. I think it'll be interesting to see how they respond when they finally do concede. I think that will ultimately be their fate. But, I mean, impressive group stages.
Definitely. It's too bad for Israel. That was my worst pick, having them go through. I mean, you picked Mali going through, so I guess yours was worse than mine. But
hey, now, come on.
Paraguay came through when we did not expect it. We both picked them to go last in this group, and they ended up going second pretty well, as a matter of fact. But yeah, in total, we both got Group A exactly right. So good job on us there. In the rest of them, we flipped Argentina and Morocco. Both of us did. But we got Iraq and Ukraine right. And then we flipped Group C. And then I flipped Uzbekistan and the Dominican Republic. And then we already talked about Group D. But that brings us into the knockout stages here, which we have coming up tomorrow on Friday. With the first one coming up, it is actually the United States at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Morocco and the United States. I feel like Morocco has. I mean, their last match was very good, but I think they're beatable for the United States for sure. What do you think on this one?
I think U.S. has some good momentum. My trauma-informed decision tells me we'll lose 2-1. But my hopeful answer, and the one I'll go with, is I think we win this 3-1. I think we found something up front, especially in our front 4, where they're just playing off each other well. And I'm enjoying it. And our defense has been getting into it. We've been getting some good corners. So I think we're playing well enough that we could actually do something here. And I think Morocco's been a little inconsistent. So I'm going to go 3-1 U.S.
I've actually got it as a 2-1 victory for the U.S. on that. There have been some very intriguing set piece plays that I've seen us try to pull off. None of them got converted in the last match day, if memory serves. But we got some big boys there in the back line, and if we can convert those and put some pressure on Morocco, I think we can make it through. I'd much rather be playing Morocco than Argentina. In fact, we'll get to that quarterfinal in a minute. With it, it's quite a quarterfinal. But next up at 11 a.m. is Japan and Spain. For this, I think Japan does make it through here. Like I said, Spain has not been overly impressive. They did get second in their group. So I think that Japan will take this. I think they continue their goalless, their non-concessions going. And I think they take this 2-0 over Spain.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Spain's going to get a goal early, and I think it's going to be depending on how Japan responds. But this Spain team, very different, obviously, than the Spain team that won the Euros.
Yeah.
A lot of the young guys that would be here were on the Euro squad, and now they're either hurt or they're on holiday. So I think I'm right there with you. I think I'm going to go 2-1. I think Japan responds to an early Spain goal, and they slowly drive back and get 2-1.
Yeah. Japan just is way too organized. They will be in this match. I don't think that Spain can run away with this at any point. I think Japan is just too organized. They will keep themselves in the match, even if they do that first goal, do an early concession to Spain. Then to the 1 p.m. match, Egypt and Paraguay. Two teams that we would not have expected to see playing each other because, we didn't expect Paraguay to get through, and we didn't expect Egypt to win their group. But it makes for probably the least exciting quarterfinal. I think this is definitely going to be the least exciting quarterfinal. And I don't have a great feel for it. Paraguay bouncing back. I'm going to ride with the Paraguayans here. I think that they take it to Egypt. Let's go with 3-2. Let's make it really. Let's subvert my expectations for the match.
I think this is going to be the first one to go to penalties.
Really?
I think it goes 1-1 in regular time. I'm not sure what the rules are for extra time. I'm assuming they're going to go to it, but if not, I think it's going to go to penalties either way. And I think Egypt takes it in penalties 5-3.
5-3. Yeah, I don't know, because for Euros, the way they did it was it went straight to penalties, and only the final had extra time and then penalties. So I don't know if that's the same construct for the Olympics or not. But we'll get to the last quarterfinal here, which is France and Argentina. I was laughing earlier because I think we had this pegged as the final, France and Argentina. Instead, we get it in the quarterfinals, which is a little disappointing, but makes the pathway easier for somebody like the United States, possibly. How do you think these two juggernauts duke it out?
Both have good youth. Both have actually really good players who are there for the exemption or exception or whatever the actual word is. And I feel like, I like France's players a little bit more. Lacazette has already made an impact. The U.S. match, all 3 goals were by the players that they invited that were over 23. So I think that it's going to come down to that experience, and I just think France has a little bit more experience. I think if there is extra time, France wins 2-1 in extra time. If there's not, I'm going 2-1 in regulation.
2-1 for France. I've got it the other way because you're right, the exemption. But I thought that the exemptions for Argentina really stepped up in the last match with Di Maria coming through and Otamendi really keeping that back line secure. And I think that Alvarez, he's been involved in the attack, but not the spearhead, essentially. He hasn't been, I don't think he has a single goal in the tournament thus far. Hold on, let me see if I can find that real quick. Let's see. for. Let's quick jump around. Julian Alvarez. Yeah, no goals, 1 assist. So he has a. I think that this will be the one where he actually gets a goal. I think if he gets 2 goals, I have this going 3-1 Argentina. I don't know if I just it'll be tough because I'm sure that this will probably be a packed stadium. I mean, Argentina versus France in France. It's going to be very exciting. But I think Argentina does come through in the end for Di Maria, which I think he did state that this is going to be his last tournament with the national team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I wish it was the final.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that it does set up some more interesting and intriguing semifinal matches. And even though I think, obviously, I'll be wrong about the final matchup, it does make it a little bit more exciting to see who else kind of gets a chance to make the final.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be... We'll see. Let's see. What is the... it'll be Monday, right? That the quarterfinals are. So quarterfinal 1 and 3. So whoever wins the USA... whoever wins USA and Morocco will play Egypt or Paraguay, which is nice. Wouldn't that be funny if it was United States and Paraguay in the semifinal? That would be kind of funny. Be pretty funny. And then Japan and Spain will. One of Japan and Spain will play France and Argentina, which you could get Spain and France in the semifinal. So that'd be fun. Japan and Argentina, that would be an interesting matchup. I don't know if those countries have ever played each other before. That'll be a rare coupling there. But we'll see. We'll see if that all comes through as we have predicted. We've still got hope for the U.S. If we could just get past this one, we'll be at least in the bronze medal match. I mean, that's
right. Yeah.
Come on. Let's try to at least get a bronze medal. That'd be so much fun. We've passed the minimum hurdle though, right? We said you gotta at least get out of the group stage. We did that. So now I wouldn't say it's all gravy. I think if we win this one, then I'm happy with whatever happens. But, if we could sneak out of here with a bronze, I will certainly be a happy camper, considering what has happened earlier in the summer. But go ahead.
I think being, the Olympics, obviously you want to win gold, but with the competition and the youth that we have, I think a bronze medal is great. I would be happy with that.
Considering this was the first time we've made it into even the tournament in the past, it was 16 years, right, since we've even been in the tournament.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a good bit. I don't know the last time we even got a medal. But until those matches wrap up, why don't you go ahead and grab your coffee, watch some soccer,